So as a result, the bank set aside $20 billion for a fund to invest in green mortgages. They offered every employee $3,000 if they would buy a hybrid car. You think, well, that's pretty good. Well, can you in your head multiply, they have 300,000 people. Can you multiply in your head $3,000 times 300,000? He can. That's $900 million. And to date, they've had about 75,000 people take that. So that is huge transformation change, not because somebody in Charlotte thought, well, why don't we do this? It's because it started with this building. So it has changed the way the bank thinks. The people in the building love it. And there's also, they're making changes that they've taken, as I think I said earlier, at least in my group, that they educated all of the people in the building about how the building was going to work. There is an air quality monitoring system in the building that measures very accurately the amount of CO2. So if we need more CO2, the fresh air system opens up. If we need less, like at 3 o'clock in the morning when there's nobody there, it closes down because we don't need fresh air. It's 0 degrees in the winter and 100 degrees in the summer. But it also measures chemicals. So when we had all of this flu scare, and people were using hand cleaners. So the building system picks up bad chemicals. What's the bad chemical? Purell. So the bank said, no more of this stuff in our building. And one employee walked in with some Purell and put it on their hands. And Big Brother from the air acuity monitoring system said, uh-oh, right over here. And so the building is learning about the people in it, and the people are learning about the building around it. So it has fundamentally changed the culture of this bank. Not bad. Oh, this is another one of those biophilic moments when you have Bryant Park at your front door. It's not a bad thing. This project is a half a world away. This is a photograph taken by a fabulous photographer who you probably don't know, named Kenro Izu. Do you know Kenro? And Kenro spends years photographing sacred places in countries around the world, and this is Cambodia, a Cambodian child. And he was photographing the temples at Angkor Wat, and while he was there, he realized that the children in Cambodia were being maimed and just killed right and left because of the landmines and the fact that many of them were orphans anyway. So Kenro started with the proceeds of this work a children's hospital. And one day he came in, my partner Rick Cook has 2 Cambodian sons, adopted sons. And he came in and he said, how would you guys like to design a visitor center for my hospital? Pro bono, of course, but because Kenro's good at that. So we said, sure. So we started to look at what makes, and I could talk for an hour on this project, but what makes buildings and what is the history of buildings in Cambodia? It was the whole, Angkor Wat is all about water management. It's incredible. If you look at the hundreds of acres that were underwater and then the monsoon and the dry season and how all this water was managed, incredible. But most of the buildings look like this. That's a typical building in Siem Reap. That's what they look like. They shed the water. We decided that we would celebrate the water with our building, so we inverted that roof, turned it upside down, and in fact, we are collecting the water in this little visitor center. So the heart of this building is this water feature. And it's to bring primarily Westerners like us into this culture, to talk to them about what the hospital is all about, and to hopefully raise more money for the hospital. And artists like Kenro donate their work, and you can go and buy some of this work. So this is the water feature in the building, and it's the centerpiece of the building, and it's all about water. And we made it as green as we could, given the fact it was going to be built by the locals and with local technology. Big deal. So there it is, and it's nice, and it's won design awards and everything. We enter our big buildings, and they don't win any awards. We enter this and wins a design award. But on the way, Rick goes there, and he learns about a plant called jatropha. And Rick Cook is emailing back from Cambodia. Jatropha is the world, it's the answer to the greening of the world. So Jatropha has, I'm not sure what this next slide is. So we started something called the Green Initiative. It's all volunteer labor by guys in our office and our team. And so we thought what we would do is and we had a funder who was helping fund all this stuff, and I forgot his name. What? Oh, Basil Stamos. Doesn't matter. And so, but Basil bought some land so we could grow Jatropha, and we're going to take the high oil content of Jatropha, and we're going to use it to run the diesel generators at the hospital, because the power is so bad there, you can't rely on it, so you run diesel 24 hours a day. So you've got these tired old diesel generators, but also belching out all of this black stuff. So we start the Green Initiative, and here's the Jatropha plant in case you ever want to know what one looks like. And here is this is a vehicle from the hospital that's now run. Okay. And Jatropha, refining technology, some of the biodiesel. But what we found is Jatropha really wasn't that good as a plant, and the whole idea kind of died. And all of our great intentions, we're going to have this great third world culture. But what did happen is that the equipment was there. And a guy who we call Biodiesel Dave, I have no idea what his real name is, but Biodiesel Dave found that you could collect the grease and the waste from the food places that had grown up in Cambodia as a result of their new life there. And so he has cornered the market on all of this food waste. They are now making biodiesel for all of the entire hospital runs on biodiesel. All of their trucks run on biodiesel. They've refitted all of them. So, I mean, the visitor center is great, and it's doing exactly what Kenro wanted to do, and the hospital's been expanding, and it's expanding to other cities, and this guy is really fantastic. But the change that we made is not one we thought we'd make a whole bunch of green buildings in Cambodia. That's not happening at all. What's happening is that we are weaning them from really nasty diesel and moving them to a whole world of biodiesel. So great thoughts, unintended consequences, and it's made a difference. And this is the view from the inside of our visitor center. So if you're ever there, I encourage you to go and visit and see the great work of Kenro Izu. Thank you.